Hi, guys. We wanted to kick off this episode a little bit differently and just acknowledge all of the devastation that's going on in Los Angeles right now with the wildfires. While Erica and I do not live in LA, we both have close friends who do and who have witnessed and experienced the devastation and horror up front. We've had friends who have had to evacuate, friends who have suffered because of all of the smoke, which is something I hadn't even thought about till a friend of mine in LA spoke about her asthma and how difficult that's been on her. I mean, it's just been a world of hurt, a world of devastation. And of course, we want to continue to bring joy and humor with our content, but we also just want to acknowledge everyone who is living through the horror of what's happening in Los Angeles. I will make sure we post in our show notes a few organizations you can donate to if you are so inclined. But of course, we are keeping everyone in Los Angeles in our thoughts and in our prayers.
Yes, as the daughter of a firefighter, it's very traumatic to watch what's going on. So my heart goes out to not only the people that are losing their house and going through all this traumatic stuff, but also to the firemen and the police officers and all the first responders that are helping out.
Absolutely. Hello and welcome to Two Queens, Two Crowns. I am your host, KJ Miller, founder, lecturer, and content creator.
And I'm Erica Manganelli, pop culture humorist and content creator.
And today it is a Queen Things episode, which means we are diving into your comments on social media. And there are a lot of comments.
As always.
A lot of comments from last week. Then we will move into a few updates about some of our queens. And as always, we will end with the parking lot. And yeah, Erica, I'm looking forward to this conversation. We did get dragged a little bit this week.
Yeah, I know. I sometimes don't even look at the comments because we get dragged a lot these days. I saw some people saying, like, that girl doesn't know what she's talking about, which was definitely me. Because I think some people don't know that I don't, on purpose, don't know the content until we
Yeah.
sit down. And they were mad about that.
Yeah. It does. It seems to have angered some people who don't realize that, yes, the premise is like, because it's a conversation, I want it to feel conversational. So if I'm updating you on what's going on and you already know everything I'm about to say, that's not very conversational.
Yeah, it's less scripted if I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. But no,
Yeah.
not everyone on social realized that. So yeah, you caught a few strays with that.
Mhm.
Um, and I think we both caught a few strays because of our choice of words, and we'll get into it. But
Okay, I missed that one. I can't wait to hear.
we will get into all of that right
Mhm.
after this. For those of you who aren't dragging Erica and I and happen to love the content we put out, did you know you could get bonus monthly episodes if you subscribe to our Patreon or subscribe to the premium content on Apple Podcasts? That's right. Every month we record a bonus episode just for our subscribers. We love our subscribers and we love bringing you laughs, bringing you fun, bringing you joy. That's what we like to do. And every now and then it gets us dragged and we're okay with that. But if you want some extra content, be sure to go to patreon.com/2queens2crowns or to sign up for subscription-based episodes in Apple Podcasts. All right, with that, let's get back to the show. All right, are you ready to dive into these
Oh,
comments?
I kind of am. I'm nervous.
Let's get straight to the heart of the dragging here. People
Mhm.
took issue with us referring to Blake Lively as a nepo baby.
Oh, you know what? I did see that.
You saw
That's what
this?
that's what she is.
I mean, and this is just so we're giving them their due. This is what they had to say over on TikTok.
Sure.
A user named Bella Knight 2010. I find this so disrespectful. So, in an example you can relate to, will we be discussing Blue as a nepo baby from this day forward?
That's a first of all, that's a weird offensive way to phrase it.
Yeah,
I'm
that's a
offended. I know it wasn't aimed at me, but I'm offended.
yeah,
Um
that's a
and
weird.
yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, which is what
Like
I
what?
responded to Bella Knight. I said Blue Ivy is a nepo baby. Yes. What
I think you guys just don't know what the definition of a nepo baby is. That's
Yeah.
what it feels like.
Yeah, it feels like maybe there's some confusion. Nepo is
Mhm.
short for nepotism.
Mhm.
And so, yes, if your parent is directly responsible for you getting your shot in any industry, but in this case, Hollywood, you are a nepo baby. And I don't find that to be disrespectful, because what we didn't say was that Blake Lively was untalented. We simply acknowledged
Mhm.
how she got her start, which was by being cast in a movie her father directed. Literally, that's how she got her start in Hollywood. So
Literally.
I I don't know why people
Mm,
were so upset over
yeah.
this.
I don't understand why people are upset about it either. I feel like
Yeah.
it's a simple Google search away. That's what nepotism is.
It is. It's exactly what nepotism
Mhm.
is. And to the point about Blue Ivy, I mean, I made a whole nother video about this just because I was so like annoyed by them
Mhm.
bringing Blue into it, because it definitely felt like they were trying to have a gotcha moment. They thought, "Oh,
For
because
sure.
KJ loves Beyonce," or maybe they thought because KJ's black, she would never call Blue Ivy a nepo baby, when
Right. That's what it feels
yes, I
like.
would. That's what it's giving, Bella
Yeah.
Knight 2010.
Mm,
If
it
that's
was a
not actually
racially charged comment, it felt like
it
like it
did.
really did.
I
I
didn't
don't
love
like
that,
it.
but
I don't like it either.
to the people who say they don't like that term because they think it's disrespectful, and actually someone named Tonya Hardage, her comment was, "This is so disappointing. I thought better of you." And I replied to that one as well. And I said, I don't know what's so disappointing about pointing out someone's privilege, but
Yeah, what? I
I,
like,
you
are
know,
they nepo babies? Why are they so offended?
it could
What
be
is
that.
going right?
It could be that. Maybe
They must
they
be.
are nepo babies. And let me tell you what, if my daughter decides that she would like to be involved in the beauty business, or the podcast business, or the whatever business that I can help directly give
Mhm.
her a leg up in, I 100% will.
Right?
And I will also make it clear to her, you have a position of extreme privilege, and that does not mean you will not have to work hard to make it, but it does mean you are starting on third base. But
Mhm.
I would explain that to her so that
Of
she
course.
didn't walk around in people's comment sections getting upset over the term nepo baby.
Wait, I'm not sure, like, wouldn't everyone wanna give their kid an opportunity? Like, if I was had the opportunity to make my kid a nepo baby, I'm signing up.
Oh, 100%.
It's weird.
100%. So, I mean, yeah, I think there were some people who were upset by it, and I don't really know what to tell you other than I'd do it again.
I'm
I'd say it
standing my
again.
ground on this one. So,
Yeah.
sometimes I could hear a side and I'll flip-flop a little bit, but I'm standing my ground on this one. She's a
No.
nepo baby.
She is a nepo baby. That's just
Mhm.
a fact. Okay, moving on to a few other comments. This is one that actually caught me by surprise. So, our most watched video by far was the clip where I spoke about Leighton Meester's upbringing. And by the way, let me just say, as an update, Leighton Meester did lose her home in the LA wildfires. We are sending our love and our thoughts
Mhm.
to her, Adam Brody, and their family. Um, but one of the clips that I posted was talking specifically about her upbringing, about the fact that when she was born, her mother was in prison.
Mhm.
And that video just so happened to coincide with a clip that was going viral at that moment about that same interview from Paley Fest, where
Mhm.
I had shared two clips from that interview, but one clip I didn't share because I had missed it, was where Blake Lively,
I'm
we, I,
bracing myself because I
oh my
saw
God.
the clip. I also saw the clip, and when I tell you I was shocked to my core, because first of all, that interview is very long. It's like a
Yeah.
45-minute interview, okay? So,
Yeah.
I obviously did not watch the whole thing.
No, I did not either.
When I saw that clip, I melted into my seat. I could not even believe it.
So the clip is during that same interview that we referenced on the show. They were talking about animals. Blake not wanting to act with animals. And it gets brought up about, like, we don't want to be, caged animals, something along those lines. And while people are laughing, Blake says, well, some of us started in cages. And it is now widely being interpreted that she is referring to the fact that Leighton Meester was born while her mother was in prison.
Yes, that's how I interpreted it.
That is how the internet has certainly interpreted it. And if she meant something else, I
Then
don't
she needs
know.
to clarify. She needs to come
Yeah,
out and clarify, because I heard that and I just tried to put myself in Leighton Meester's shoes. My heart would sink to my butthole
a
'cause
hundred.
Oh my god, that would
1,000%.
be I would be you gotta assume that there's some sort of a little bit of like, maybe she's holds on to a little bit of shame in that
Mhm.
scenario, and to, like, exploit that on a stage? Stop. That is so wrong.
Yeah, the fact that I couldn't believe I missed it, and I couldn't believe that I posted that
Interview.
clip
Mhm,
I'm talking about, like, right at the moment that that clip was starting to go viral, and it was not on purpose. I
mhm,
chop up all of our clips. I chop them all up in a single day. I just look for, like,
mhm,
"Oh, this looks interesting," whatever, and then every day I post a new one, and I just happened to
mhm.
post that one that day, which happened to be the day everybody was talking about
My gosh, I did
that
not
Blake
see this
Lively
comment section
I
where
oh my god.
girl, I
It
might not
was
be able to look at
well, here's the thing. It's just everybody it has over 500,000 views, over
Mhm.
25,000 likes, over 300 comments, and almost all of the comments are referencing Blake Lively's interview and saying how disgusting that it is. So the most liked comment is from someone named Babita7719. She says, "Oh yeah, gross when Blake Lively said some of us started in a cage." And then another comment that has over
Oh my
1,300
god.
likes from Christy Soar 24 says, "I didn't watch Gossip Girl, but this makes me admire Leighton so much. Blake Lively is the ultimate mean girl. She is disgusting."
Okay, all I'm gonna say
Oh,
is, like, if you're gonna be a mean girl, that is the ultimate mean girl. Like, that's the evilest you can get, I feel like.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
oh my god, such a low blow.
Such it's just and again, if
Mm.
she didn't mean it, then what did she mean?
What
Like
did she
what
mean?
because this is a thing
Mm.
that at that time was known because Leighton had spoken about it in interviews. So it's
Right.
not as if this was something that Blake didn't know. She almost
Mhm.
certainly did know. And she had already made, or actually, I don't know if at this point in the interview she had already made that other quip about like, and now I've got a few of them referring to the rest of the cast as monkeys, which we already spoke about.
Which is
But
already
but
really
like you've
questionable,
already you've tried to land this joke twice now.
and it's
Like
not hitting.
it's not hitting. My God. I
No.
I oh
And I know what it's like to not be able to land a joke, but the amount of times she tries to land a joke and they don't land is like it truly blows my mind. I said this last time when we were talking about it. I really truly believe that she deep down in her soul thinks she's funny because people have told her that for a long time, and she's
mm-hmm,
just not.
mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
often wonder if her own husband is telling her her jokes are funny. You know what I mean?
Mhm, mhm. Oh, I'm sure. And maybe to
Mm,
him, they're hilarious. And
maybe.
maybe when she's one-on-one, just her and Ryan, maybe she is hilarious for all I
Mm,
know. But
maybe.
yeah, on
But
this
this joke
stage,
ain't it.
no. And
Oh,
to be very honest, because I do feel like we really gave Blake the benefit of the doubt
for
on the
sure.
show. We kept
Mhm,
saying maybe she's not a mean girl, maybe it is just that she's not as funny as she thinks, so on and so
mhm.
forth. But to me, if you were referring to Leighton being born in prison when you made that
I hate
joke,
that. Mhm.
that is mean girl energy. Whether
Totally.
you meant it to be funny or not, that is not the sort of thing I would ever joke about unless you were my enemy. Like, unless
Right?
I was trying to be mean, then I would make a joke. But if I
Yeah.
weren't trying to be mean, I would never make a joke like that.
Yeah, and it's, like, highly inappropriate. I mean, and if it was aimed at her, I'm shocked that nobody called it out.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just assuming no one did, because the first thing I would do leaving that stage is be like, "Bitch, why'd you say that?" Like, "What?"
Yeah, it's wild. So, I mean, that's why that clip really blew up. People just they went back, they found the interview, they saw that, and they interpreted it the way I think makes at least makes sense for them to interpret it,
Yeah,
particularly given that no alternative explanation has come out.
yeah. I mean, I wholeheartedly 100% agree with everyone's take on that.
And can I also just say, this has been said many times, but I don't know if it's been said on this podcast because we haven't really spent that much time actually talking about her ongoing lawsuit with Justin Baldoni. But let me just say for the record, multiple things can be true. It
Mhm.
can be true that almost every single thing that Blake Lively alleged in her lawsuit
Mhm.
happened. And it happened exactly the way that she said it happened.
Mhm.
That she did experience workplace inappropriate behavior. She did experience sexual harassment. She did have to fight to have the intimacy coordinator on set,
Mhm.
full time. She did have to draw a boundary between people coming in her dressing room unannounced. All of that can be true. And it can also be true that she was mean and
Mhm.
rude and difficult and unpleasant.
Mhm.
Both of these things can be true. And frankly, we don't know what's true. None of us were there.
Yeah.
But I do see, I get served a fair amount of videos from, I guess you would call them Blake Lively defenders, who
Mhm.
feel like any narrative that is negative about Blake is trying to erase what she went through on that set and the harassment she may have endured on that set. And I personally don't think that that's true. I think you can
Right.
believe that every single thing she said happened. I think you can believe she is owed damages because of
Mhm.
what happened. And you can believe that she's not a nice person. Like
Right. Yeah. She can be a
multiple
mean girl bitch, but still not deserve to be treated like that.
right.
Like,
Well,
you know what I
that's
mean?
that's one way to put it.
I mean, maybe she is. We don't know.
We don't know.
But that doesn't mean she deserves to be assaulted. I mean, like crazy.
Right, exactly,
Mhm.
exactly. Okay, I just read through the YouTube comments and people think we were way too nice to Blake. That that seems
I
to
expected
be
that.
that seems to be the consensus over on YouTube, which is I I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like we were too nice or too mean to Blake. I feel like we
Just kinda stated
we
the facts.
yeah, we
Yeah.
and tried to see both sides of it.
Mhm.
But I don't know. Let me just read some of the comments. There's one by a user named Purple Faby 17. She left a lot. Okay, so she says, so you guys are saying you would laugh when they are making you the butt of their jokes. Also, skipped the part of this interview when she made the comment about the cage, which we did skip. That's on me. I skipped that
Mhm.
part. No offense, when I started to watch this podcast, I thought it was going to be more honest, but as I finish it, I'm sad to see that it was only used to excuse an entitled mean girl by using a nice person like Leighton. Also, there are videos of some of her co stars admitting to her being a mean girl.
Mhm.
So, yeah, and then there's another one from
'Kay.
Kia Shaw who says there have been multiple co-stars that have said that Blake is not a nice person. Are you being paid by them? Because this does not seem like a fair and honest episode.
Those are my favorite kinda comments because spoiler alert, we're not getting paid anything.
No, not 1 cent. And in
Mhm.
fact, there are a lot of people who over on TikTok have dragged us for being too mean to Blake. So just so you know, no one's paying us to be nice or mean to Blake
Yeah,
Lively, to be
no.
very clear.
Yeah.
I,
I don't even know what to say. Like, first of all, obviously, we missed that clip.
yeah, we did
That
miss
clip
that
was,
clip.
like, a big deal and a big
Yeah.
part of it. So we missed that clip, but I don't think we were really being, like, that overly nice to her.
I didn't think so either. I think we were trying to say
That
if
they're both
she's
queens.
right. Well,
Yeah.
yes, one, that they're both queens. Two, that they both helped each other in their careers. I do
Mhm.
believe that. And three, if she isn't a mean girl, then what could be going on here in these clips where she looks like a mean girl?
Right,
Right?
yeah,
We were
yeah.
sort of just trying
Devil's
to
advocate.
yeah, and like
Mhm.
do the thought experiment. And also
Mhm.
again, multiple things can be true. She can be a mean girl and also in those particular clips have been really just attempting to make a joke that didn't land.
Right.
So
Mhm. Yeah.
I don't know.
The
I guess if
comments that say, how other co-stars I see that comment a lot in my stuff too, and I'm like, "Who are they?" Because 'Cause I've never seen any of the clips.
that's what I want to know too. Because
Mhm.
first of all, as we stated on our episode, I couldn't find any clips of Blake and Leighton actually
Yeah.
saying negative things about each other.
Uh-huh.
So if those exist, then y'all are on the dark, dark, dark web because I could
Right.
not find those. But
Mhm.
as it relates to other people in the Gossip Girl cast, like, yeah, show me those clips because I haven't seen those either.
Mhm.
Now, granted, the focus of the episode was not to prove or disprove whether or not Blake Lively was a mean girl.
Right, yeah,
The,
yeah.
the focus of the episode was to look at two women who had been pitted against one another and ask the
Mhm.
question, was there really a rift there? And like, how do they help one another?
Right.
And so, no, I did not go down every rabbit hole, but also I did read a lot of articles about Gossip Girl, and I didn't actually see anywhere her co-stars
Mm.
came out and said that she was like mean or terrible or anything like
I've
that.
gone down this rabbit hole a little bit, just because I've gotten that comment on some of my videos before, and I'm like, "Okay, let me do my due diligence," and, I've looked up a lot of things. I've never seen any co-star of hers come out and say anything ever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and a lot of people also have said it's Anna Kendrick. Again, I've seen interviews where, like, she's been weird with her in the interview,
Hmm.
like, almost like you can tell, like, "I don't like you, bitch," like, kind of vibe, but, like, I've never actually heard her come out and say anything,
Right. Me
ever.
neither. Me
So,
neither.
I don't know,
It's
I think, that's a rumor.
And it's always like maybe what people mean is all of the articles that we spoke about on the episode that are like sources say,
Right,
sources from set, rumors are.
right.
Okay. And like yes, rumors get
Mhm,
started from somewhere, but to me,
mhm.
if you're saying her co-stars have said this, show me the quote. Show
Right,
me the
that's where
quote
I'm at.
where Penn Badgley says Blake
Right.
Lively is a terrible person. Show me the quote
Yeah,
where Chase Crawford says, like,
right.
because I haven't seen that.
Because also, I will agree in the sense of, like, it doesn't seem like any of them are still friends. Like, it doesn't like, they're not openly commenting on each other's stuff or liking their stuff or following each other on the internet or going on each other's podcasts or, like, whatever, right?
Right.
Um, but again, like, show me something. So you can't just say it without without
Yeah.
showing me some sort of evidence.
Yeah.
I don't know, I think that's kind of like a rumor.
Yeah, and I don't know. I get that things are very very heightened around Blake Lively, and frankly,
For sure.
that's why I chose to do the episode because
Right.
her name is on everybody's lips right now,
Mhm.
and that's how you make viral content, and we are content creators. So
Yeah. It's, like, almost like we're doing our job.
so yes, I wanted to talk about Blake while she's a part of the zeitgeist, but
Mhm.
again, the goal was not to prove or disprove whether or not she's a mean girl. I simply don't know.
Mhm.
And if that has turned people off, then well, it is what it is.
Mm.
I remember the Meghan Markle, Kate Middleton episode, still the one that has definitely gotten us the most vitriol of any episode we've ever done. And
Forgot about it already.
people were so angry that we said anything nice about Meghan Markle. Like
I got more
just
nice stuff to say about her right now. Like, she's
like
helping out in the LA fires, and they're still mad at her.
they're still mad at her.
Like,
So, I
make it make
mean,
sense.
I don't know. If we
Mhm.
disappointed you, I'm sorry.
Oops.
But once again, I stand on it. I do it
Yeah,
again.
same. I still back up what I said. Mm.
All right. I did actually want to throw in just a few updates from our episode before last. So, our final
Mhm.
episode of 2024 was on Lady Gaga and Madonna, and we
Mhm.
never got a chance to check in on the social comments left on those videos, but actually, people left a lot of comments on
Oh,
those
okay.
on that video as well. So, I would say the clip that people reacted to the most was the clip where we spoke about Gaga's quote where she said, Madonna's all respect to Madonna. She's the greatest pop star, but I write my own music. I produce my
Mhm.
own songs. I play instruments. I'm a performer, and just like
Yeah. The subtle shade.
so people had a lot of thoughts about that.
Oh, wow,
So
okay.
Films and Filming said Madonna plays instruments, writes her songs, and also produces her music. And then Woody Days Arbres said, but checks notes. Madonna writes, plays instruments, produces, spends hours in the studio. What point is Gaga making here? Uh, then we have one from Gordon718. Gaga's
Mhm.
career is based on her rummaging through successful people before her. Dale Bozio, Bowie, Grace Jones, Madonna. It's endless and disturbing when you actually know music history.
Okay.
We've got Mr. Elm82 saying, Madonna never threw shade at Britney. Madonna was only scared when somebody better than her arrived. Oh, and that is
That's
someone
interesting.
supporting Gaga. Okay, so
Okay.
that's the flavor of comments we received. I would say most of them were a bit more pro Madonna, but we did
Mhm.
have some, pro Gaga. And again, we weren't trying to pit these two women against each other. We were actually trying to
No.
talk about how they've benefited from one another. But that clip got the girls going. So what do
Of
you think?
course. I'm actually shocked to see how many Madonna supporters, like, are still floating around the internet, which is
Mm-hmm.
nice to see because I
Mm-hmm.
feel like Madonna is on the older side, I guess you could
Mm-hmm.
say. Not to call her old, but her music is older and has been
Mm-hmm.
around longer, and you
Mm-hmm.
would think that some of those supporters would have faded off the internet by now, but she still has a strong fan base.
Still going strong. As far as
Mhm.
I can tell from our comment section, they're going very strong.
Yeah.
I would say 80% of the comments I saw, both on TikTok and YouTube, were Madonna supporters and defenders,
Mhm.
and who really felt aggrieved by Lady Gaga and her taking, if you want to call it taking whatever, is being inspired by express yourself and not
Mhm.
giving Madonna credit for that. And then, of course, saying that quote that we shared. She had a lot of fans in the comments. So I would say her support is still quite strong.
Yeah, I'm not even mad at it because to have, like, 2 female artists have such strong fan bases still after all this time is, like, kinda cool. It's kinda cool to see it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think they all have a point. We picked up on that shade. I'm sure Madonna did too.
Oh, for
I
sure.
think trying to pretend as though Madonna doesn't do any of those things that Gaga named is
Yeah,
a
silly.
bit silly.
Mhm,
And I think people are allowed to be a little upset about that.
mhm, and I'm not saying Madonna's not, like, a good artist or, like, doesn't do her own music or whatever, but I really had no idea she played instruments.
I didn't either, frankly.
Mhm,
So,
mhm,
you learn something new.
yeah. Gonna Google that later.
Mhm. Well, as always, thank you guys for your comments. We love engaging with you. Definitely be sure to follow us on TikTok at Two Queens, Two Crowns, on YouTube at Two Queens, Two Crowns, and now also on Instagram. Admittedly, I have not started posting to the Two Queens, Two Crowns Instagram, but I will if TikTok gets banned. Okay.
Mhm,
I will. If it
yeah.
doesn't get banned, I'm not doing that.
We have no other choice.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. So, with that, should we move into a few updates?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. Well, just want to again acknowledge because we spoke about Leighton and Blake last time, want to acknowledge some updates about the two of them, with the most important being that Leighton Meester did lose her home in the fires, she and Adam Brody in the Palisade fires. So, again, just sending thoughts. So many celebrities have had to evacuate and have lost their houses. It's very sad. So definitely sending our thoughts to Leighton and Adam. And then the Daily Mail is reporting, and I don't know how much you can trust the Daily Mail. Okay, so let me
Mhm.
just say that right out the gate.
Right.
But Daily Mail is reporting that Blake Lively served Baldoni's team papers while the fires were ravaging, LA.
Hmm.
And people are a little upset about that.
Does he live there?
Well,
Not that it matters, but
I
just
guess
curious.
some of his team lives there. So,
Okay.
according
Mhm.
to Daily Mail, Blake Lively has been accused of hitting an unforgivable low after Justin Baldoni's team were served legal documents as some of them tried to save their homes from the apocalyptic wildfires in Los Angeles. And the article continues. On Wednesday, she returned to social media for the first time since filing her bombshell lawsuit last month to
Mhm.
share resources with those affected by the devastating fires
Mhm.
ravaging the Pacific Palisades and surrounding areas. But her concern was condemned by sources close to Baldoni, who were reportedly preparing to evacuate at the time they were served with another complaint. It's beyond despicable that Blake Lively's team sent court servers to the noticeably damaged homes of Justin Baldoni's team while they were preparing to evacuate, with a young child inside on the same day as one of the largest tragedies that Los Angeles has ever witnessed.
Hmm. And are we talking like knock knock at your door, ready to serve you? We're talking about like I have received an email. Not that it really matters. All of it sounds fucked up.
Yeah, it sounds like literally because you have to be served in person. I do
Right.
know
That's
this
what I thought.
because I have been served.
Oh
Um,
no. Oh no. Sensitive subject.
yeah, sensitive subject. And so, yeah, it sounds like someone serving court papers
Mhm.
rolled up to the house in a
That poor
neighborhood that
court reporter.
yeah, in a neighborhood that was in the midst of evacuating, and served the suit. So, yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know
What do
how
you
any
make
of
of
that
that?
works really, because 'cause I'm like, does it have to get to the person by a certain amount of time because of, like, court filing? I'm not really sure. I don't know anything about that, so I'm like, but it does sound fucked up."
It sounds a little fucked up. According to Lively, though, a spokesperson for her insisted they have paused all attempts at service owing to the ongoing emergency. We have been
Mhm.
attempting to serve all of the defendants since the end of last year, they said in a statement to dailymail.com. This
Mm.
is a standard part of all lawsuits and is
Mhm.
legally required. We have paused all attempts at service until the emergency conditions in LA have passed.
Okay, so also kinda sounds like they've been trying to serve them for a long time, and maybe we've wiggled out of that a little bit,
Yeah, and
right?
people could have been traveling for the
Away.
holidays.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
of course. Mm.
So this could just be a case of unfortunate timing. It does seem
Mhm.
unlikely to me that like Blake Lively called someone.
Yeah, and was
The
like, "Their house is burning down. Get there and
right.
serve them paperwork right
Yeah.
now." Like, that sounds
Yeah.
far-fetched.
That seems unlikely. I think it is far more likely that they've been trying for
Mhm.
several weeks. And because it does have to be done in person, and you have to submit evidence that you did it in person, like
Yeah.
so that someone can't say, oh, I never received the papers. So
Mm.
yeah, this to me seems like unfortunate timing, but not something
Yeah.
I'm not gonna call it an unforgivable low on Blake Lively's part.
Yeah, I agree with that. 100%. Also, I've been making fun of his lawyer for the last, like, week because, like, every time that man is on the news, he's just like, "And we're gonna drop a bombshell new lawsuit at the end of the day," but then the lawsuit never happens. I'm like, "Stop telling us you're gonna drop something that you haven't dropped. I don't tease me.
Yeah.
Just do it."
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Then up next, I did want to share an update on Taylor Swift because it's like I can't let a day go by without doing an update on Taylor,
Mhm.
which is simply that the Rolling Stone did an article on the top songs of 2024 and named "The Prophecy" by Taylor Swift the
Oh,
number
wow.
one song of 2024.
Oh, wow.
And I honestly was just happy to see that because I love The Prophecy. I think
Me
it's one of
too.
the best songs
So
on
good.
that album. So I was happy to see it get some love.
I agree. Whenever, one of Taylor's songs charts like that, I'm like, "Woo!" I love
Yeah.
that album. I know some people were like, "Oh, that album was just okay." I loved that album. I don't know if it's a
Yeah.
season of life that I happen to be in or what,
Mhm.
but I loved it.
Mhm. No, it was a beautiful album, and that song I think is just like it's so haunting and
Mm.
beautiful and
Yes.
devastating and so well written. I think I would put it in her top 5 best written
Yeah.
songs. So
It's like
I'm
poetry.
100%. I love to see it get
Mm.
some love. Another shout out or update is that I don't know if you saw that Beyonce, she was supposed to make an
Yes,
announcement
I was gonna bring this
today.
up. Mhm, but she postponed it,
She postponed it,
which
and
is,
I
like, sad,
respect
but,
that.
like, I respect, yeah.
I respect it. She
Mhm,
postponed it due to the LA fires, and that
mhm.
makes all the sense in the world. People apparently are hating on her on social media for postponing the announcement, which is just people, what are we doing?
No, I saw, like, 1 or 2 people saying, like, "Oh, she's using that as an excuse." I'm like, "I don't think she is." Like,
I don't think so.
for what
Why?
reason? Did she know it
Why?
was gonna happen? Like,
Right.
no.
That's wild.
No, people just love to hate.
Yeah, because she made the announcement. She said she told us about this announcement on Christmas. That was weeks and weeks ago.
Yeah,
So
like, she didn't know.
she wouldn't have said she had something coming on the 14th and not had actually had something
Right.
coming. Uh,
She's, like, scrambling to put an album
yeah. Oh
album together
God.
in, like,
Yeah.
2 weeks.
just,
She's
just
like,
like
"Oh, great excuse. The world's burning down.
in
I'll
the
just."
nick of time. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. People are
um,
just love to hate.
People love to hate, but I think that was the right call. And similarly, we had brought up Meghan Markle, but she has a new show. She announced a new show with
And she put it on
Netflix,
pause, right?
and she put her show on pause as well. It's called Love Megan, and it looks like it's like a cooking show where she invites her friends
I'm
over and
very
they
excited about
they
it.
cook and they go. Okay, I wanted to ask you, you're
Yeah.
gonna watch?
Oh, yeah, I made, like, a whole video about it. Like, people were, like, mad about it, calling her, like, out of touch, and I'm like, "For what reason?" She, first of all, had a blog just like this before, and it
Mm-hmm.
was very successful,
Mm-hmm.
before she met him. Okay, so she's basically just, like, getting back to her roots of, like, her self, right?
Yeah.
And what she loves to do. And also, it looked awesome. Like,
Yeah.
I watched that preview and I was like, tuning in 1000%. And then people were in my comment section saying it's very very inauthentic that her bee suit is so clean. I went off on that because I'm just like, "Oh, okay." And if her bee suit was dirty, you'd be saying she didn't wash her clothes. Like, get out of here.
Yeah,
I
okay.
don't like the Meghan Markle hate. It, like, infuriates me because, like, they don't like her for no reason. It's,
For
like, literally no
no
reason.
reason, because also, if you don't want to consume that content, you don't have to.
You don't have to watch it. Nobody's
No
making you watch it.
Nobody's making you, and in fact, I will say it is not my typical type of content. I'm not the person who watches the cooking shows, the Ina Gardens, the Martha
Mhm.
Stewarts, the like, which is sort of it feels like kind of is living in that
Yeah,
space.
definitely. It's her
Those
Rachel Ray moment.
shows yeah, Rachel Ray, those
Mhm.
shows have never appealed all that much to me.
Mhm.
So when I saw the preview, I thought, I really hope this finds its audience because I
Mhm.
love Meghan Markle, but it seems somewhat unlikely to me that I'm going to be tuning in on a regular basis. Now, if she has a
Mhm.
guest on who I like I saw Mindy Kaling is going to be on an
Yeah.
episode, I'll watch that because I like Mindy Kaling.
Yeah.
But
It
can I
seems like
see
she's gonna have
myself
celebrity
tuning in?
friends.
Yeah. Can I see
Mhm.
myself tuning in all the time? No. But I could see myself tuning in for one or two. And I hope it finds its audience because I really like Megan.
Yeah, I hope it does too. Like people are just like always mad about her for no reason. Like right now, she's like they're like helping people with the wildfires or whatever, and they're like real self-serving. It's like okay, but
Right.
you weren't mad at Jennifer Gardner out there helping at with the food stuff. So like, well, I don't understand.
Yeah, and as far as I know, the reason people know she's out there helping is because other people are reporting on it, not because
Yeah,
she's
they're
out there
stalking her.
on Instagram Live like, "Hey guys, I'm at the
Right.
fire." Like she's
Hey
not
guys.
publicizing herself.
Really great fire today. My house burning down behind me. Like, get out of here, you guys. It's not this
This
serious.
not and she's absolutely not doing that. So the fact that people are calling it self-serving, how? It's literally the opposite of that.
Yeah,
It's
they're
literally the opposite of that.
yes, and they're like, "Oh, she's doing it for the fame." I'm like, "Okay, every other celebrity's out there helping people. We're not saying that about them."
Yeah.
I'm just
My guess
confused.
is if my entire neighborhood were burning to the ground, I would want to help. Or if I saw the neighborhood
Of
over,
course.
like my house is safe, but two neighborhoods over is
Mhm.
ravaged. You think I'm
Right?
not going to be out there handing out water bottles and
Right?
supplies? Like
They
what?
were, like, hugging people who were crying. I'm like, "I don't understand how this is okay, sure, get mad at her." I don't know. I don't get it at all.
People
And then I
love
saw,
to
like,
hate
an
her.
article that said that they opened their house to, like, their friends to like, people who were evacuating and needed a place to stay, and they were like, "Real great. Just your friends?" Like, would you invite a stranger into your home with your kids?
Right.
Like,
Like
of course it's just your
with
friends.
your actual kids. Yes,
Right?
that's
I get real heated about it. I'm just like, "I like her. I don't get it."
no, and people get so mad, and given that we all know the security issues that they've had,
Of
the
course.
death threats that they've faced, why in God's name would she just have everybody strolling through her house? She's helping the people she can help.
Yeah.
She's out in the streets, she's giving supplies, she's inviting friends in, who need a place to stay. She's doing what she
Mhm.
can, and by the way, like we said, it's not like she's doing it all on IG Live. Like she's
Mhm.
minding her business,
No,
and
literally.
people just love to hate. All right, one more update I wanted to give on Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande because they did not win any Golden Globes, and
What a joke.
I was devastated. I will tell
Mhm.
you specifically, I was more devastated for Cynthia,
Mhm.
but I just the fact that neither of them won and Wicked didn't even win best soundtrack for a musical.
Yeah,
It
which
went
is
to
crazy.
Amelia Perez, which now that everyone has started playing the clips of that musical online, I'm like, you have got to be kidding to me.
And I
You've
didn't
got to
see
be
that
kidding.
musical, but I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
Are you
And
kidding
and
me?
then I heard there were some, like, cultural issues, like, that the producer was not Hispanic, and it was a Hispanic musical and maybe
Yeah,
didn't research the culture 100% or something, which I don't know if
right.
any of that's true. But with that being said, Wicked didn't have any of that.
Nope. It was, I mean, I just pray to God. I saw someone quote Modern Family. There's a quote on Modern Family where they say, "You
Mhm.
win an Oscar, you buy a Golden Globe."
Yeah,
So
okay. I mean, I could believe
I
it.
could believe it. I could
Mhm.
believe it. So I'm just hoping that there was some nefarious dealings, and that's how Amelia Perez took home all those awards. Because if Wicked doesn't walk away with something from the Oscars, oh, I'm going to be quite heated
Did you
because
watch the Golden Globes?
I watched a bit. I certainly didn't
Okay.
sit and watch for 3 hours, but I did watch a bit.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
What about you?
I watched from the beginning to, like, maybe midway through, and when I thought Nikki Glaser did a great job, but, it was actually funny for once, which was nice to watch, but, like, the first I would say the opener to that, I was sitting there with my family watching it, and I was like, "I can't believe they're letting some of this on TV." Like, there were a few
Interesting.
jokes there that I was like, "Oh, okay, there's no censorship here."
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
go back and watch. I don't think I watched her full monologue, but I did go
Mhm,
back and watch some of it. And yeah, I think she did a decent job. I'm not a big Nikki Glazer fan,
mhm,
to be very honest. She kind of gives Mean Girl to me, but
mhm.
it
I've heard that.
did seem like she did a pretty good job.
Yeah, yeah, I have heard some of those stories, and also my best friend's brother is a comedian, and he has accused her of stealing some of his jokes before, so
Ooh.
I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I mean, it was really solidified to me when, like, 3 weeks ago, she went on her podcast and just completely
That
went off
girl?
on this reporter
Yeah, Rolling Stone, right?
who yeah, from Rolling
Mhm,
Stone, who was in her section at the last Taylor Swift concert, and
mhm.
she just was calling her names, and she called her gutter trash, I
Oh,
think.
yeah, gutter slut or something? I
Yeah,
don't know,
gutter
but I was
this
like,
gutter punk trash
gutter punk,
something.
that's what it was, yeah.
Yeah, and just was talking so much shit about her
Oof.
when this girl didn't do anything to her, and she admitted that. She was like,
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's probably
She
unfair, but, like,
she's
she
like, "I
was
just
like,
didn't like her."
I didn't like her, and she
Like,
shouldn't have been in the section, and she thought that that woman
she
had,
was like
like,
a
snuck
regular person.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, when in fact she was there where she was supposed to be. She'd gotten that ticket via Rolling
Which that
Stone.
means she visually judged her. She
Yes,
looked at her and was
visually.
like, "She does not belong here."
Yes.
Just
It just the
crazy.
whole thing, I was like, "Okay, I've always gotten this kinda mean girl energy from you. This
Mhm.
solidifies it." Because even if you thought it, the fact that you not only thought it, but then said it on a podcast and then published that podcast for the world to hear is wild.
Yeah. I am a true believer that some things you need to just say to your best friend, and this is
Yes.
this is one of those scenarios.
Yes,
Say it
100%.
to your best friend.
So, I'm not a huge Nikki Glaser fan, but I agree. I think she did a good enough job. But really, my takeaway was we better course correct for the Oscars because I want to see Cynthia Erivo walk home with a statue. I want to see Wicked
Mhm.
walk home with Best Musical Soundtrack.
Mhm.
We got to course correct. We have
Course correct.
yeah. Someone get it together.
Yes.
Whew. Well, I think that's all I've got this week for updates. We can move right on over to our parking lot. Anything you want
Mhm.
to share, Erica?
I am concerned that, like, something's going on with Michelle Obama. I'm nervous about that. 'Cause I just
Why?
because she wasn't at Jimmy Carter's funeral, which already clocked made me go, "What's going on?" Because she goes to all of those things. She never
Mhm.
misses them. She's, like,
Mhm.
super classy about all
Mhm.
that stuff. And so when she wasn't there, I was like, "Oh, is she okay?" And then they had said that the reason why she wasn't there is because she was in Hawaii, which also didn't sit right with me because that doesn't sound like Michelle Obama either to, like, miss a big event because of a vacation. That doesn't sound
Mm.
right. So then I was already like, and now she's not going to the inauguration, which love that for her, first
I
of
do
all,
love that for
but
her.
then is now also, like, elevating my concern because I'm like, now it's 2 major events that she's not going uh, with Obama to, which does not sound like her at all. So now I'm
Hmm.
like, is Michelle Obama okay? I need
Oh.
someone to tell me that Michelle Obama's okay because I love her.
Wow. Okay. I had not heard about any of this. I hadn't realized she wasn't at President Carter's funeral. I
Mhm.
had not heard the news about her not attending the inauguration, although I kind of expected that from
Yeah,
her.
which
She went to
lucky.
the first one. She was like, I do not need to do this again.
Right, but
I
also
don't
it's
need to
not like her to
pretend.
just send, Obama by himself,
That's true. That's true.
or
All
Barack.
right.
I don't know why I
Well,
keep calling him Obama.
I hope she's okay as
Me
well because
too.
I hadn't
Mhm.
heard that. So
Yes.
absolutely.
I noticed because I happen to love when she interacts with George Bush. I have like a little friendship where they share mints in church, and they have like little jokes and little conversations, and I just like love their interaction.
Mm,
So I noticed right away. I was like, wait, because I was looking for her. I'm like, where's Michelle?
got it. Well,
So
we hope you're okay, Michelle.
yes, I hope she's okay. What do you got for parking lot?
Well, what I have is I want to know, have you joined Red Note? Because I
Okay,
just
no.
joined.
Okay, did you join?
I
Okay, so
joined.
I was just telling everybody that I was on live before. I was telling everyone the reason why I haven't joined yet is because I feel like we're gonna ruin the app for them. Like I feel like we're gonna do something in their app, it's gonna get taken away. Apparently, they have very strict guidelines that they have to like
Mm,
follow accordance to their laws in China and their religion and stuff like that. And like it's strict. They will
mm.
boot you right off. And like, I don't, if you guys have ever listened to my content before, probably if you're listening to this, you have. I don't know if I'm suited for for Red Note. I'm not really PC enough for that app, I fear. But I
Mhm.
did just give it a little scroll on the web. I like it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I will say this, and I posted this before we started recording. I joined for the plot. Okay.
Yeah, of
I
course.
don't think,
Mhm.
that it's really gonna like pop off. You know what I
Right.
mean? I think probably we're all joining mostly as an FU to Congress for
Yeah.
trying to take TikTok away from us. I would be shocked if it really blew up in America. But it's just
Mhm.
so funny to me that literally we're all like, oh, you don't want China to have our data. Here we're shipping it to them. Okay, direct
Right?
mail.
I know. Well, okay, 2 things I'll say to that is that, 1, I did download it so that it would boost the downloads because the fact that it's number 1 over what I already know that Threads was number 1, like, a week ago, so
Hmm.
it boosted that, and so it knocked Zuckerberg out, which great, love to see
Great.
it. My second point was the banning of TikTok clearly was never about national security because if it
No.
was, when they saw Red Note get to number 1 yesterday, they would have been making statements left and right saying, "What are
Hmm.
you guys doing? We can't be signing up for that app. You're giving your data to China." Da, 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 da. There was zero concern yesterday for that app
Yeah.
being at number 1. Not a senator, nobody made a comment. I'm like,
Yeah.
it was never about security.
It was never about security,
Mhm.
and we can see through you. And by the way, China did hack our phones and our data, and they did not do it through TikTok. So this is
So, yeah, so
we see through you, and that is why
Mhm.
I love us. I really do feel like
I do.
we've built such a special little place over on
Totally.
TikTok, which is why we're
Mhm.
also sad about it potentially going away. But
Mhm.
like I said, even on the way out, we are having making jokes, having
Oh,
fun.
the jokes are amazing. Like, you guys posting, like, that the Titanic's going down and the music is still playing. I like and repost every single one of these jokes. They're the best.
It's amazing.
Mhm.
We're always gonna find a way to be deeply unserious, and I
And
love
if
that
you've
for us.
made it this far into the podcast, look out for my TikTok eulogy. It's coming.
Oh, is it gonna be funny or sad or both?
No, funny, funny. I
Okay,
don't do
funny.
sad stuff really that much.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
jokes.
I posted my sad, like, TikTok,
I know
yes,
I
I think
did that.
yesterday, and now I'm like, I don't think I can do any more sad. I did my
Yeah.
sad. I don't think I can
No,
do
I
any more
did my
sad.
sad. I'm moving over to funny, and I have a costume, so
Oh my
I'm
god.
excited. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. I can't
Yes.
wait.
Yes. Look forward to that. That's it for this week, everyone. Be sure to follow us on TikTok at Two Queens, Two Crowns, and to check out the podcast on YouTube, Two Queens, Two Crowns.
Erica and I would also love for you to follow us on our personal socials. I'm on TikTok at IM_KJ Miller and YouTube with the handle I am KJ Miller and Red Note with the handle KJ Miller. And Erica's on IG at Let A Be Know and TikTok at Let A Bitch Know. We'll see you next week.
Bye.